France in the early 15th century was in chaos. Charles VII's father, Charles VI, known as the Mad, suffered from severe mental illness. His condition fractured the kingdom, intensified factional conflicts, and allowed England to seize large territories. Amid this turmoil, Charles VII was born and grew up surrounded by political uncertainty and constant power struggles. Charles VII had several notable siblings. Isabella of Valois, his older sister, married King Richard II of England at the age of 6, while Richard II was 29 to 30 years old. This marriage was entirely political, not romantic. After Richard II was deposed, Isabella returned to France, re-entering a court already rife with conflict. Catherine of Valois, his younger sister, married Henry V of England at the age of 20, as part of a political agreement to strengthen English claims over French territories. Like her sister, Catherine had no personal choice in this marriage. Her life was directed entirely by political necessity. For Charles VII, the fate of his siblings was a harsh lesson in the cruelty of royal politics. Personal identity and family freedom were often sacrificed for state and diplomatic interests. At a moment when France seemed on the brink of collapse, a young girl from Domremy appeared, Joan of Arc. She claimed to receive divine visions, instructing her to help Charles VII secure his throne. Crucially, the relationship between Charles VII and Joan of Arc was entirely political and symbolic. Joan was not a lover, partner, or personal companion. She led troops, boosted the morale of the French army, and helped Charles VII formally establish his legitimacy as king. But there was no romantic element in their connection. Under Joan's guidance, Charles VII was officially crowned in Reims, confirming his status as the legitimate king. The morale of the French army rose significantly. Momentum began to shift in favor of reclaiming territories controlled by England. Yet Joan's story ended tragically. She was captured by English allies in 1430, tried as a heretic, and burned at the stake in 1431. Although Charles VII lost the woman who had restored his identity as king, he ultimately strengthened his position and successfully reclaimed much of France from English control. This story illustrates harsh truths. Royal politics can devastate personal lives, even for princes and princesses. Acts of courage and sacrifice can end tragically, and a king's legitimacy can sometimes rely on the bravery of a young girl from a small village.